Beware the Ides of March! Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now today is of course the Ides of March, so I thought I'll do another video on Caesar, but I've already done both of his invasions of Britain, so I had to think outside the box. So I thought, why not do a video focusing on the legionaries themselves? As most people I know, when they think of a Roman legionary, they'll think of this. But when it comes to Caesar's legionaries, you're quite wrong. So let's find out some more. So sit back, relax, and let's take a look at Caesar's legions. In 55 BC, Caesar brought two legions, the 7th and the 10th, and the most famous of these is probably the 10th legion, as it was the standard bearer of this legion who led the charge. He called upon his comrades to do their duty to the Republic and to Caesar, and encouraged them to jump out of their ships and wade to shore, and eventually the Romans took the beach. But this initial invasion didn't achieve very much, so when Caesar arrived the following year, he brought a much larger force of 5 legions totalling some 25,000 men. Now we're not entirely certain which legions Caesar brought in 54 BC, but we can hazard a guess that he brought some veterans with him, such as the 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th legions. So what did Caesar's legions actually look like? Well, unlike most modern interpretations of Roman armies, Caesar's legionaries would have worn lorica harmata armour, which was a chainmail-like armour, unlike the more famous lorica segmentata. They also carried the Montefortino helmet that had seen the Romans through several centuries at this point, and of course the scutum shield. However, Caesar's legionary scutum shields wouldn't have been like my scutum shield. They would have been more oval in shape rather than rectangular. However, the area where these legionaries have something in common with their Hollywood counterparts is their weaponry. Now their primary weapon would have been the gladius, a short stabbing sword. They were also armed with pilum, which were throwing spears that had specific function that the shaft would break on impact, meaning that nobody could cheekily throw one back. Roman legions relied on discipline, formations and relentless aggression. Unlike the Britons who fought in loose groups, the Romans fought in tight consolidated units, using their scutum shields to make an impenetrable wall. Many battles would open with a volley of pila, breaking enemy shields and causing a lot of chaos. The Romans would then get out their gladius and start stabbing in rapid, brutal strikes. They could also use their scutum shields to form a testudo or tortoise, interlocking all their shields together to give them protection against missile attacks, such as when they attacked a British fort in 54 BC. The Romans relied on discipline and tactics. There are also many notable individuals within Caesar's armies. The most important of these, of course, is Julius Caesar himself, a brilliant tactician who personally commanded his troops, often fighting alongside them when he had to. Now his right-hand man was a man called Titus Labienus, a brilliant strategist in his own right, and although he was left behind in Gaul, he was vital in overseeing the food transport for the invasions. There's also Quintus Atrius, the officer who was in charge of guarding the beachhead in 54 BC when Caesar went further inland, who was also responsible for stopping Caesar's advance when he had to inform him that a storm had damaged his fleet. We also have Gaius Volscenus, who helped to plan the invasion with a 5-day scouting mission before the invasion. Quintus Liberius Durus, a military tribune who died fighting the Britons in 54 BC, and finally, and most important to this discussion, Gaius Trebonius, who fought the Britons in 54 BC and would later go on to be one of Caesar's assassins. So there you are. I hope I've helped to shed a bit of light on the subject of Caesar's legionaries in Britain. At the very least, I hope you now know they look more like this than this. The thing is, we often think about Caesar's achievements without thinking about those who served under him. And these were very brave and obedient soldiers, willing to go to the edge of the known world for their commander, and I find that utterly astonishing. But thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao ciao for now.